Okay, let's dive right in. Snoop Dogg. I mean, 3 decades plus, still right there at the top. How does that even
It's
happen?
pretty remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah. How do
Well,
you go from, that raw West Coast rap sound to being this like global figure, comfortable with Dr. Dre, comfortable doing a cooking show with Martha Stewart?
right. It's quite the spectrum.
So we've gathered a bunch of sources, really looked into his career path, the big moments, those transformations. And our mission here, yours and mine, is to figure out the how. What are the secrets, the strategies behind this incredible longevity,
Yeah,
especially when culture moves so fast?
exactly. It's not just about staying around. It's about staying relevant.
Hmm.
And his journey, well, it's about way more than just music. It's this whole package entertainment business.
Uh-huh.
To really get it, we have to look under the hood,
Yeah.
see how the reinvention machine actually works.
Totally agree. And that first big piece has to be adaptability, right? I mean, the music world,
Mm.
artists blow up, they fade out. It happens all the time.
Almost the rule.
But Snoop, he seems to defy that. He started with that unmistakable gangsta rap vibe,
Foundational.
but then he explores reggae. Remember Snoop Lion? Goes into funk, even
Oh,
gospel. That's quite a range.
that fluidity, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So many artists get locked into their initial success, their sound. He just seems to see genres as, well, suggestions maybe.
Ah, yeah, maybe. And the collaborations prove that, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. Willie Nelson, then Pharrell, then someone completely different like Billie Eilish.
How does that even work credibly?
Well, that's the magic, isn't it? He finds some genuine connection, some common ground. It's not just phoning it in for a feature. It feels authentic somehow.
Okay, let's talk Snoop Lion, reincarnated. That was a real moment, wasn't it?
Definitely a moment, a big swing.
A massive departure, fully embracing reggae. I remember some people were skeptical at first.
There's definitely some side eye, yeah.
Hmm.
Critics weren't universally sold immediately.
But you have to admire the guts, right? For someone that established to just pivot so hard, what do you think was behind that kind of, well, radical shift?
I think it shows something fundamental about him, that willingness to just go for it, to step way outside the box.
Yeah.
How many huge stars would risk confusing, even losing some core fans like that?
Mhm.
It tells you he's not afraid. Maybe it reflects a personal change he wanted to express, beyond just strategy.
Fearless is a good word for it. But, okay, it's not just the music changing. He's built this whole other world around the Snoop brand.
Hmm.
Film, TV, seriously, who in 1993, listening to Doggy Style, thought, yeah, one day he'll have a hit cooking show with Martha Stewart.
Nobody.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the roadmap. But look at his acting like Training Day. He wasn't just playing himself.
No, he was genuinely good in that.
Yeah.
Intense.
Showed real acting chops. Then you have comedies, TV dramas like Empire.
Mm.
It keeps him visible, constantly engaging different audiences.
And the business side, Leafs by Snoop.
Yeah.
Launched just as legalization was really taking off.
Perfect timing.
More than just sticking his name on it, right? It was smart, capitalizing on a massive cultural shift. And let's face it, his image gave him instant credibility in that market.
Absolutely. And reports say it's done very well financially. Millions in revenue, apparently.
Then the cookbook, From Crook to Cook, and the Martha Show, Martha and Snoop's potluck dinner party.
Those are brilliant, really, using his personality, his humor, to connect with people who might never listen to Gin and Juice.
Right, bridging these totally different worlds. It's authentic Snoop, but packaged for, well, everyone. Super broad appeal.
That's the core of it, I think. Authenticity plus innovation.
Okay, but to really get the whole arc, we gotta rewind. Back to the start. Compton, early 70s. Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr.
The origin story. And like a lot of artists who break new ground, yeah, it starts in a tough environment.
That Compton upbringing, the poverty, the gang connection, Rollin' 20s, Crips.
Yeah.
You hear it in the early music, don't you? It shaped his whole perspective.
Undeniably, it's baked into the lyrics, the feel of Doggy Style, that raw edge.
And Doggy Style, 93, man, not just a big album, it was like a sonic boom. Straight to #1.
A phenomenon. And produced by Dr. Dre, of course.
Which basically defined G-Funk. That sound, smooth, kind of laid back, but with those heavy synth bass lines. You hear Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton.
Yeah, those influences are clear.
But it felt completely new, totally West Coast.
It really did. G-Funk changed the game, and Doggy Style was its ultimate statement. You listen to Who Am I, What's My Name, or Gin and Juice.
Classics.
Yeah. His flow is just so relaxed, effortless, telling stories, painting pictures, even when it's about partying. Got that Grammy nod, too, which was significant. Musically, it was things like those specific analog synths, the sampling, gave that warm, kind of hazy
Oh, yeah.
feel.
Skin and Juice. Wow, that song just became part of the air, didn't it? Single in '94.
An anthem.
That beat is infectious. And Snoop's delivery, just kicking back, talking about Compton life, the parties, the struggles underneath, it just clicked with so many people.
It really did. Hit number 8 on the Hot 100, went platinum. Huge commercial success.
But beyond that, it influenced a whole wave of artists like Warren G, Nate Dogg.
Yeah, you could hear it.
And even now, artists cover it. Remember that bluegrass version by the Chords?
Oh. Yeah, I do. That shows how far it reached, right? Across genres.
Totally. Speaks to its lasting power.
It's amazing how a song so specific to a place and time can become so universal. And you can't separate that early success from Dr. Dre and Death Row Records.
No way. That partnership was crucial. It gave us Doggy Style, gave us Dre's The Chronic. It put Snoop right at the center of the hip-hop universe pretty much overnight.
Yeah, it cemented his style, his voice, within this groundbreaking sound that just took over.
Absolutely foundational. But what's maybe even more impressive is how he built on that, evolved from it, through all those collaborations over the years, the sheer range.
The collaborations are wild. Okay, so you've got two of America's Most Wanted, with Tupac in '96. Pure '90s energy. Feels kind of heavy now, knowing what happened.
Poignant, yeah. Captures a specific moment. Then jump way forward, California Girls with Katy Perry in 2010. Total pop explosion, right? Global #1. Talk about crossing boundaries.
Complete 180, stylistically.
And even recently doing stuff like I Wanna Thank Me with Jelly Roll, mixing hip-hop and country elements.
Still experimenting.
The variety is just mind-blowing. How does he manage to fit in everywhere?
Well, it comes back to that adaptability we talked about. It's super rare for someone with that kind of history to just slide into different musical worlds so easily and connect with totally different fan bases, but somehow still feel like Snoop. It shows a real musicality, I think, and just an openness.
And that same versatility, you see it in his acting, too. He wasn't just doing quick cameos, you know.
No, he took on real roles.
Blue in Training Day. Genuinely chilling performance. Memorable.
Agreed. Then he shows comedic timing in Starsky and Hutch, and his recurring role on Empire had layers. He can actually act.
Yeah, he can. And those roles, they keep him out there, keep him visible as more than just a musician. He's this well-rounded entertainer.
Exactly. It reinforces that multifaceted image.
Which loops back to the business side again. Leafs by Snoop, more than just a celebrity endorsement. It was strategic, jumping into that legal cannabis market early.
Timing was impeccable. And Forbes estimated its valuation at over $10 million by 2023. That's not small change.
Not at all. And his brand, built over decades, gave him instant credibility there, a unique edge.
Definitely. And then the Martha Stewart partnership, I mean, genius, really.
Unexpected genius.
The cooking shows, the lifestyle brand, it seems so unlikely on paper, but it works incredibly well. It brought him into living rooms that maybe had certain ideas about Snoop Dogg before.
Yeah, totally broadened his appeal. It's just smart brand building, using his personality.
And then the move in 2022, buying Death Row Records back.
Oh, yeah, that felt big. Symbolic.
Totally. It's like reclaiming his own history, closing a circle, but also making a modern business play, owning the masters, controlling his legacy.
Powerful stuff. And beyond business, just his cultural footprint. Fashion the braids, the jerseys back in the day.
Yeah, the pimp hats. Influenced streetwear, for sure.
And the language. How many people picked up for shizzle?
Guilty. It just became part of the lexicon, didn't it? It wasn't forced. It just grew out of who he is.
Exactly. And it's not just style and slang either. His support for Black Lives Matter, founding the Snoop Youth Football League way back in '05.
Add another dimension, doesn't it? Shows commitment to community, using his platform for more than just entertainment.
For sure. And performing at the Paris Olympics closing ceremony, I mean, that seals it, right? Global icon status, confirmed.
Undeniable. And those actions, that advocacy, it gives his persona depth. It resonates with fans on a different level.
Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were bumps, the early legal stuff.
Major bumps. The murder trial in the '90s was huge, very public. He was acquitted, of course, in '96.
And criticism over violent lyrics early on, he definitely faced headwinds.
He did. But what's interesting is how he navigated that. Didn't necessarily run from it, but seemed to use those experiences to push for reform later. Talk about personal growth. He evolved past it.
And the whole Rastafarian conversion in 2012, the Reincarnated album,
Another big
yeah,
shift.
another pivot, signaled a spiritual change, maybe. And again, maybe counterintuitively, it probably broadened his appeal again, brought in a different crowd.
It just shows that capacity to keep changing, keep exploring who he is.
And doing it authentically, or at least it comes across as authentic, fans connect with that realness, that willingness to transform.
So when you look at the whole picture, Snoop's career really does feel like a kind of masterclass in how to last in this crazy entertainment world.
It does. Constant motion, constant adaptation, experimenting, but always somehow Snoop.
You hear younger artists talk about his influence all the time. Kendrick Lamar, Post Malone, they cite him.
That shows the legacy right there. And getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2023, alongside people like Missy Elliott, that solidifies his impact on music history. Huge deal.
And yet he still seems approachable, like those Instagram live cooking things he did during the pandemic lockdowns.
Right. Just hanging out, being himself, funny, kind of down to earth. That humility, maybe. Despite all the fame and success, it makes him feel relatable, you know? Keeps him connected.
It's a potent mix, isn't it? Iconic status, but still feels like someone you could, well, maybe not bump into at the grocery store, but you get the idea.
Yeah, exactly. So wrapping it all up, you've got the adaptability, the moving across music genres. You've got the diverse business ventures, Leafs, Martha, Death Row, staying true to his roots but always looking forward, the collaborations constantly stretching, the smart business sense, the massive cultural influence, and just resilience,
Yeah.
facing challenges and keeping going.
That seems to be the formula, pretty much.
Yeah.
A complex, evolving formula.
It really does. But, okay, here's a final thought for you, listening right now. Beyond all that stuff we just talked about, the reinvention, business deals, the hits, what's the core thing about Snoop Dogg? That essential quality that lets him connect with so many different people for so long? Is it just pure authenticity? Is it the willingness to change? Or is it something else entirely?
Something to chew on, definitely, as you think about his incredible journey.